Hi everyone, my name is Cleo and welcome to my channel. So you are now watching the first YouTube video that I've ever shot and ever will be posting. So welcome to my channel. I started this channel because I stumbled upon booktube some 2 weeks ago or something like that. And I immediately fell in love and I thought like, I can do this as well and I will just give it a try. So I hope you will be liking my video and that it's not too scatterbrained and things like that, and that I will be able to offer something new to you guys. So I am 30 years old and I live in Belgium, so you will hear that my English is not always perfect. I'm not a native speaker. I do read almost all of my books in English, so in that sense the titles that I can offer you are mostly the English titles. I do read certain books in their native language, so I can read them in native language if they are Spanish or Dutch, which is my mother tongue. But because I am not an English native speaker, I might also be able to offer you some new recommendations, some books that are maybe not as popular in the English language speaking area, or which are not even available maybe in the English speaking language, which I hope is not the case. I hope they're just more difficult to find in English. I started this channel because I felt like first of all, I love books and I love talking about books, so that would be great to be able to do this in this channel, but also I might be able to add a certain perspective to my channel that isn't there in others. So I have a bit of a different reading style. Not everybody has their own reading style, but some of my reading style is also a bit different than most booktubers I've seen. That being said, I haven't watched that many because I only stumbled upon booktube 2 weeks ago. But so what I basically see most of the times is people who are very much into contemporary or fantasy or classics. I love fantasy, so I will also be talking a lot about fantasy. I love classics, so I will also be talking a lot about classics, but I also read a lot of adult fiction. I feel like I see a lot of people who mostly focus on fantasy or YA. I don't read that much YA at the moment. I'm trying to get back into it because I'm really getting out of a bit of a slower reading period, and YA will definitely help me with that. I had kind of backed away from the whole YA scene just because I felt like there was not much new happening there, but so definitely give me recommendations about original YA books that you feel like I should be reading. I'm currently reading 2 books, one of which I'm reading on my Kindle, so I cannot show you. Which is The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. If you haven't heard about this book or about Mel Robbins, I encourage you to seek out a TED Talk by her. So just look for TED Talk and Mel Robbins, and it is hopefully going to change your life, which is her objective. So it's basically about how to stop boycotting yourself. Basically about how to stop making excuses, stop procrastinating, stop saying now is not the time, and just do it. Easier said than done, but at the moment I'm just doing it. So I hope that this is just a first step in a future of many just do it. I'm currently liking the book. I'm not loving it, I will admit that, but it is hopefully going to stop me from procrastinating as much, though at times I like procrastinating, so I hope I will be able to motivate myself more. But I have mixed feelings about it at the moment, but I will tell you about it when I finish it. What I'm also currently reading is The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. If you are not familiar with the premise of the novel, then the novel is really about the side characters in a normal sort of like fantasy novel. So in the background of this story, what is happening is there's a group of what they refer to as indie kids who stumble upon a certain situation and have to save the world. But really I will demonstrate this, really you are only given that story in like the first couple of lines before the chapter actually starts. In the chapter you are given the perspective of 4 other kids, 4 children who are going to the same school as these indie kids and what they are going through at the same time. So up until now I'm like at chapter 5, so I don't really have that much experience with the book yet. Up until now this story has like interwoven once, so it's very interesting for me to see how it will evolve. Will it evolve in the way that you stumble upon the main story from time to time and it gets interwoven into the lives of these other characters, and maybe they get sucked into the main character, into the background story a little bit? Or will it actually be like, the main story and the background story really only stumble upon each other very infrequently, showing that all of these major explosive events that are going on in the background actually have almost no influence on the lives of these ordinary people. So it's interesting to see where Patrick Ness will be taking this. I have, as I mentioned, only read about 4 chapters in this, and it's quite difficult at the moment because you're not really familiar yet with the names of these indie kids that are only mentioned in these 2 sentences at the beginning of each chapter. I know that there's a girl called Satchel, and she seems to be like the main character of the indie kids perspective. But so it's at the end of every chapter, what I'm actually doing is going back to the beginning, seeing which 2 phrases were mentioned there, seeing like, so what was going on in the background story at the same time. But I hope that this will all become a bit easier as I get along with it. I'm currently also not that much into it just because it feels very YA contemporary to me, but we will see. YA contemporary is not really my genre, so I hope that I will be loving it by the end. It's Patrick Ness, so that's already a good indicator. I love this Chaos Walking trilogy, so hopefully I will also love this one. Yeah, so this is it for me for my first video, I think. I hope I haven't left any crucial information about myself out, but you can always ask me a question in the comments below and I will answer to them. I hope to be coming back to you soon with a video about the reading that shaped me, so the books that really got me into reading, the books that have shifted my reading away from fantasy more towards adult fiction, and the life events that have also come into play with that. So hope to be seeing you soon, everybody. Bye!